have returned. Okay, so I think the most straightforward thing to do is going to be to change what we're expecting as an input to match what is coming from DynamoDB. So we can just plug these things together rather than trying to massage the data and take extra steps. So we're going to do that. So what does that look like? Well, in DynamoDB, let's look at it this way. So a transcription has segments. And so what we can do is we can say, okay, we'll just take transcription.segments and we'll send that. And segments is an array, right? So we have this, still have this idea that there's an array of things. And we don't have to ship, or we don't have to care about anyway, all the fields here. Like our struct cannot just be about the things we care about. Which fortunately, at least the data is modeled in the way that we're thinking about it, where it's like number of seconds as a numeric value. And it's just called start and end. So really there's not a lot to change. We just go back to start and end, and then text. Great. A lot of words about a small change. Okay, so then in step function, which I have closed, there we go, step function.json, which will need a better name at some point, or need to be somewhere else because it's, well, we only have one step function right now. We'll probably have more in the future. So how this is going to change is that, okay, so we're grabbing transcription. That's going to be inside of $.dynamodb.item. But what's going to be different is that when we are reading that here, we're not going to grab text.s. We're going to grab segments.l. Double check that. Transcription segments. Yeah, transcription. Well, transcription.m.segments.l, right? And if that is hard to keep track of, DynamoDB, kind of the internal representation of it, it embeds the type with the thing, right? So when we're looking at the actual raw data of the transcription, so here we have the object, we have transcription, M, segments, L. And so L is in this list. Except for foiled again, because the list then has an M key that then has an object. Yeah, so there's some nesting. Okay, so that is unfortunate. That means our struct does need to be a little more complex if we don't want to. Ooh. Wait, I'm recalling something. There might be help. There might be help for us. Do I have documentation? Okay. Oh no. I think I'm thinking about a feature for a different service. I don't think there is a thing that I want for this. Let's take a look at intrinsic functions. Appendix B. Is there something for like dealing with DynamoDB data in here? So the thing I was thinking of, I think, is actually from AWS AppSync. Has some functions, some velocity template functions. I think that's what I'm thinking of. But let's just check one last time. Okay, hash, JSON merge, math random, math add, string split. No. Okay. Well. Okay, so that means this needs to be a little bit more complicated. I really dislike this. If you can't tell, I really dislike the idea of like putting all of this into this, but I think it is easier than most anything else I could do. Like the alternative, like there are some options here if I were to actually fetch the data myself from DynamoDB into Lambda, like in this code, because like that operation would deserialize it in a way that would be nicer. I could implement something to like hide those details. I could, make some custom deserialization stuff to do that. But I'm not going to. What's the thought that went through my mind right just then? It's like if this was TypeScript, I could just like embed object, and then it has a field called in, and then like that. But that's not a thing you can do in Rust, I'm pretty sure. Okay. In. I care enough about this warning to be like to do that? I guess so. Okay. Struct. That's fine. String. Yep, there you go. Is this a good way of doing this? Is this something that would be considered idiomatic? Don't know. So the other thing is that there has to be a type that represents this that's inside of interesting. Hold on one second. Let's go find one of the other like audio transcriber RS. Attribute value. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, never mind. What if is there a type that I can use to represent So like, what would be amazing if I was like, okay, I have a transcription segment struct, here's start, end, and text. Please deserialize this DynamoDB representation. Let's go crates.io. where's the actual like AWS SDK? Yeah, there it is. At least this is easier to look at. There's a developer guide. SDK code examples. But for DynamoDB. This might actually be good, right? Invoke a Lambda function from a DynamoDB trigger, because that might an event. Interesting. Event record. Still not that interesting. I was hoping for an example where it would show like deserializing a DynamoDB record in a way that is not awful. I mean, this is not what's actually going on, right? We're not getting an event from DynamoDB. I'm just trying to get some hints as to how it might be a good way to Serde Dynamo attribute value. Serde JSON from value, value.clone. So value is, this is actually some JSON. I guess I could be passing it around like I have this type, or I can have this type. Wonder if this is really the way to go. Is to be like, hey, this transcription is just an attribute value. I think once I save this out, it's gonna yell at me. It's like, what are you talking about? What's an attribute value? Yeah, there we go. Import AWS SDK DynamoDB types attribute value. So I think that'll work, and then we get rid of all of this nonsense here. Okay, so what's the complaint? Breakdowns, not satisfied. So attribute values and implement deserialize is what this is saying. Is unfortunate. Maybe I need this. Is that a crate that exists? Serde Dynamo. I'd really like to, yes. So if I have 1 through from items. Okay. Okay. So link. So we won't use this attribute value. We want to use the one from Serde Dynamo. That's it. Import Serde Dynamo. All right, cool. So that lets us do the thing. Okay, and then that'll be fine for now. What I will want to do is I want to do something where I do oh yeah, 1 second. Let's undo a couple of things really quick. I do want that transcription segment. I want this. Redo. Why? Well, because we want to be able to take this attribute value and deserialize it another level into a vector transcription segment. So this will be something like, what would that look like? From items is coming from items. Let, oh, like that. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. That apparently was valid. Thanks, Copilot. Okay, so now change something. I guess we take so let's think about this for a second. If transcription is an attribute value that we can deserialize into a vector transcription segment, that means that we need m.segments.l. Or does that mean we need m.segments? I guess we'll find out. So let's do cargo belt. It's been a while. Let's do cargo belt. See if this compiles. We have lots of warnings because we have a bunch of stuff that we're setting up that we're not using yet. Someday, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we can get to it in the next 38 minutes. I want to actually have the plumbing all set up before we go on. Yes. We're actually in business of doing the things. So we need to change this around to be more of a, here's what we're doing and not a wish list. Let's go to the step function. Try this again. Start. All right, so transcription already exists. Summarize transcription. we actually, I think this might be the first time on the stream today that we've actually seen the whole step function execute without an error. That might be true. Yeah, so see the input. It's a lot. That path parameters. So these are parameters to the task, and then the task input. So that grabbed your transcription, and then I kind of lied down there for a second. It's a long thing. Okay, and then in the output, task result was successful, 200. We're not actually doing any work, right? So there's not, anything substantial there, but it succeeded and a success. All right. Now let's actually make the thing. So let's see, what did Copilot just generate for us for this OpenAI secret? So this grabs our shared resources, which is basically what I did here. The main function gets run when the container for the Lambda is initialized. That was a very loud car going on in the background. When the container for the Lambda is started. So like the first time, like after deploy, we invoke the Lambda, or if the Lambda is invoked and then isn't called for a while, it gets reaped, and then it gets started again the next time we invoke. It's called a cold start. A cold start is running this function. And so this function does a few things. It grabs our config, so some environment variables. It grabs some information about the region that it's in and just general like AWS configuration. It sets up a DynamoDB client and a Secrets Manager client, and it puts those into the shared resources thing. It's just like a handle to pass this around. And we set up the Lambda runtime. And we provide this function that can be invoked when the Lambda is actually invoked, right? So this main function will be run when the Lambda is invoked if there's not already a warmed Lambda container for it. And then this gets executed, right? And then if there is a warmed container that's not already busy, this callback gets called again to handle each serial invocation, right? So if we had a bunch of concurrent invocations, there might be multiple containers that might be dispatched to independently. And that's how Lambda scales, right? So the handler function is then the thing that handles a specific event, a specific invocation of the Lambda, which is where we are actually then parsing our payload to get the transcription, the vector of transcription segments, getting the OpenAI secret. So we're getting from Secrets Manager, we're saying, hey, I want to get a secret value. So this is a builder for the operation. The secret ID, we can pass a few different things to it, but in this case, we're passing the ARN. It's coming from our configuration. And then we're sending the request, we're awaiting it, and then we're verifying the operation happens, and then also that we actually have a secret present. Secret? I don't know. I may or may not have already done that. And then we'll need to do this. I think the other thing that I need to do here is I need to define what we don't need input key. I mean, it's there, but we don't actually use it, so I'm just going to remove it. We need to define what the shape of the OpenAI API request and response is going to be. Or not even the request and response, but what is the shape of the data that we want to send? And we've already defined that in terms of like JSON schema, JSON here, right? This is an example of what the input looks like. And we have an example of what the output looks like because we provided one based on the JSON schema. So now we probably want structs that represent arrive, bug, and serialize. Probably going to want that. Struct. Let's call it summarization input. And I think we just call it context. Although there's no reason that it has to be context instead of summarization context. Right? There's nothing that's enforcing the shape of the data that we're providing. I'm just providing it as JSON because, hey, we're asking for JSON, so why not? But like I could have provided this input to the OpenAI model as just like text or whatever. So anyway, and then what we can do is we can do something similar here, but this is going to be deserialize. Where is he? There he is. Deserialize? No. Summarization output is going to be kind of interesting, right? So we know that we're going to have a summary context string. We will have a summary main discussion. We will have a title and keywords. Spec a string. We have highlights. That's not going to be a string. We'll need another struct here to represent summary highlights. It's going to be timestamp start, timestamp end, description, and reasoning. Description and reasoning. There we go. So this is going to be back to summary highlight. And then we have intentions and transcription errors. Questions could be good. Transcription. We're going to do another struct. Summary transcription error. We don't have a reasoning or an end. Hold on, I have the schema somewhere. Here it is. So for transcription errors, we have we do have reasoning and description. There we go. So that is the shape that we're expecting to come back from the OpenAI call. OpenAI API call. And then we need to update the record in DynamoDB. So let's do this. Let's say that let result equals. Well, that's fine, but not what I want to do. I just want to kind of mock out the so summarization output is what I'm looking for. We have some test data and a semicolon. That all good? Something red here. What's the problem? So transcription segment is not serializable. So I'm going to come back to the part where we're calling the OpenAI API, but let's get this part done. So what I want to do here is that in the summarization context, we actually want to use result, that summary context. Right? So that'll be like the summary of everything so far of the series of videos that we're summarizing that we then return back to our caller to to then be passed into the next invocation for the next video. And then what we want to do is we want to construct a put item. Is that true? That might be true. Oh, and this is let's do something a little bit different here. Yeah, I like that. Send, await, expect. Okay, so one of the things that we need to do that I took out was the item key from the request. Is it called item key? It might be called item key. No, it's called input key. We need that because that's how we're going to identify the record to update. Okay. Table item. This is going to be fun. Is that the right function to call? Yeah. Oh, I see. Right, by having the other crate, the Serde DynamoDB or DynamoDB Serde or whatever it is, we don't have to like be explicit here. You can figure that out for us. So anyway, the key is called key. And so put item. How do you work? Creates a new item or replaces an old item with a new item. This item has the same primary key as the new item already exists. The new item completely replaces the existing item. We don't want to do that. We want to do something else. This is why I was looking at the docs, because I was like, I don't know if put item is the right thing. Let's see. Operation. Describe, get item, put item, update item. Builders. Update item fluent builder. Nice if they had like an example. So let's do this. Let's do update item. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so first of all, key is called key. And we need to, I can do that. Part of that is definitely not right. There we go. Update expression. Is that how you work? I thought I had an example. Let's get a look at the docs here. Something that can be converted into a string. I see. So really what we need to do here, first of all, I'm not going to call it summarization. We can just call it summary. Really, it's fine. And then yeah, and then, okay, good. And then we do expression attribute names. So the thing that is referred to as #summary is summary key, attribute, and then we need expression attribute values. :summary represents the serialization of results. Now, if I save that, how much do you hate me? Trait bounds not implemented for. Okay. Right. attribute value. Okay, so what is the actual complaint here? Trait bound AWS SDK DynamoDB types attribute value. STD convert from Serde Dynamo attribute values not satisfied. Trait Serde Dynamo attribute values not implemented for AWS SDK Dynamo types value. Great. Super. Can we into? Interesting. Summarization output is not serializable is the problem. There's a problem, and now there's a different problem. Type annotations needed. Cannot infer type of the type parameter AV declared in the function attribute value. Consider specifying the generic argument. Sure. I don't think that's the intent here. So what is... So AV is the thing that is coming back from here. So this really should be that, in which case we shouldn't need to. Probably don't need the borrow. What if I were to just do this? Don't like that? Really hoping this would be compatible. Client here. Huh? Interesting. Here that this is. That's not what I'm after anyway. Can we do something else here?
I saw it when I walked, boy.
So I know one thing I did somewhere else was I implemented some custom conversion logic. Also, I did things like this. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that again. Does that work? First of all, which attribute value is this referring to? Oh, I see. Let's start with that. So M takes a hash map. This work? If I import hash map, you just do the thing. Type annotation, I suspect no. I suspect not. That's where I am right now. About over here. Oh, I see. So here I built a map. I did like map insert. Okay, we'll do that. I just want to make a thing. All right. So we'll do this. And then let's call it summary map. Parents. And then it doesn't like this because I need to do something to right. Got it. Attribute value, but the one from here. That because that conflicts with the other things. That a lot of the errors go away and some come back. It's not satisfied because something I'm referring to here is not serializable. Right? Like this, this. Okay, so slightly fewer errors. Summary map. Which that is. I'll come back to that in a second. What do you mean? It's like it's behind the time. Like, this is... attribute values, key and value, create types attribute value. I mean, I'm explicitly referring to this. Oh, but I'm not here. Right, okay. That's what that complaint is. Okay, so cool. This will work if I build the summary map correctly. So what is in... Skip. Let's see. Okay, so what is... It's all this stuff, right? Okay. I guess... I should just implement this. Yeah. I should just do this, and then make sure I say which. There's probably an easier way. I'm feeling kind of in a rush to just like get this wrapped up though. Also, not whisper, but summarization output. Let's do that. And then this will let me get rid of this. And get rid of this. Result that into. Of course. Let summarization context equal summary context that clone, and then we get rid of that. All right. Now our errors have moved elsewhere. Now we actually have to implement this. Now Copilot, just do it for me and do it right. Okay. So it's gonna make a hash map. It's gonna insert all the different fields. if they are lists, it's gonna iterate over them, do the map thing, translate the values. It's numeric. Yeah, it just writes it. Except for where it, it runs out of time. All right, now just do the rest. Reasoning, cool. And then that, what's the complaint about self? Oh, right. So we need to actually not have a semicolon on the end. No, we're missing something. Where is the other side of this parent? Okay, I see. So now we do self. There you go. Except it's... Every place I use attribute value, I actually need to be referring to the other attribute value. This is the point where maybe if every place except for one I want to refer to the other one, maybe I should change the other one. Attribute value. So that could be there. And every other place can refer to the one from, oh, no. Fix, import that. Okay. And then we can just replace every time we use the whole thing with just one thing except for... Okay, let's try that again. Except not globally find replace. Next. Replace. Okay. One place is wrong. Oh, okay, so it's SS. But should it be? Should it be a string set? Probably. Okay, and then it's complaining because it's too long. Okay, cool. Well, this is the world in which we live. So let's do cargo build. Make sure this actually truly does compile. So, kind of out of time for today. I need to go see about getting some lunch. So, we're going to put a little bit of a pause on this. I think you can imagine, though, right? We've already, look, we have the secret. We have the transcription. We have all the data. We know the shape that the data needs to be in. All we really need to do now is use the crate that we've already been using. What is it called? It's like OpenAI. OpenAI Dive. Imagine there was a function that did that. Anyway, we'll use that crate to make the API call and basically do what we did in the assistance playground. Just this, right? Over again with the data we have, shaping the response back into the struct shape that we need, and then we're done, right? So it's just the rest of the owl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find us someone to raid, maybe someone who's doing some coding, and we will do that now.